in all our listeners, those that are in Israel, those that are in Canada, or wherever you may be picking us up on the internet. Our house where our motto is, come one, come all. Let us build our future upon the foundation of peace and love. Shalom, Be'ahava. Now we ask everybody to stand for the joy of this presence. We should have a page 350. If not, the usher.
Does anybody need a piece 350?
You have a message over here.
All right. I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of Yah. Women,
Calm my spirit, God. Stop it. Caused by the rush of getting everyone fed and here on time. Quiet my confusion, God, and all the tension of getting here. I know I made the effort because I really do need you. God, speak to me in the quietness.
men,
I am thankful, Yah, for what we have. But this week has been so hectic, and it seems that no matter how hard I work and how well I plan, there's always something I didn't plan on, and there isn't enough time to go around. Forgive me, Yah, for letting worry get in the way of my gratitude. You are good to us, Yah. We do have so much to praise you for.
make a joyful noise unto Yah, lands. Serve Yah with gladness. Come before his presence with singing. Youth, it's hard to sing so early in the morning. It's hard to come in gladness too sometimes. It was not so easy to turn this week in school. It's such hard to keep joy. This word is not very fair. It seems I can't do is change things. But I know it's close to me. That I can't see the answer. But I know you're the answer. But I ask you my whole heart. Yah's my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He restores my soul. All.
Restore my soul, O Yah, and renew the right spirit within me. Make me to hear joy and gladness, that the bones that you have broken may rejoice. Cast me not away from your presence, and take not your Holy Spirit from me. Restore to me the joy of your salvation, and uphold me with your free spirit.
Now I turn it over to Brother Zabin for our opening tefillah, the Kohen Baraka, and the Shema.
Can I ask everybody to face the east? Let's all bow our heads. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Our Father who art in heaven, our Father God.
I'll say it. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not unto temptation. Lead us not unto temptation. Deliver us from evil. For thine art the power and the kingdom and the glory forever. Amen. Now turn it back over to Brother Zeke. in the complete, everybody should have page 153. That's number 6, 24 through 27 in the Bible. Adonai, wait. Yevarekah, Adonai. What's happening? The other part, this only is the same. I don't say that like that. So use the Bible. Adonai said to Moshe, speak to Aaron and his sons, and tell them that this is how you are to bless the people of Israel. You are to say unto them, all right, all together.
Yevarekah Adonai v'yish Barakah. May Adonai bless you and keep you. Yahweh Adonai B'nam Elaka V'yitzvaheka. May Adonai make his face shine on you and show you his favor. Yitzhak Adonai B'nam Elaka V'yitzvaheka. Shalom.
May Adonai lift up his face
Toward you and give you peace. In this way, they are to put my name on the people of Israel, so that I will bless them.
Now we sing the Shema. Shema
Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kivod, Malchuto, Leolam, Va'ed, Ve'achad,
Now, if you have it complete, you go to page 204. That's Deuteronomy. Oh, wait, we got some people coming in. Hold up a second. All right, we can keep on going. And all right, if you have it complete, it's on page 204, and that's Deuteronomy, the 6th chapter, 4 through the 9th verse. The first two verses, 4 and 5, is what we say in Hebrew. Shema
Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, Adonai God, Adonai is one, and you are to love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your being, and all your resources. These words that I'm ordering you today are to be on your heart, and you are to teach them carefully to your children. You are to talk about them when you sit at home, when you're traveling on the road, or when you lie down, and when you get up. Tie them in your hand as a sign. Put them at the front of the head, around your forehead, and write them on the door frames of your house and on your gates.
All right, now we go to page 1279, and that means Mark, the 12th chapter, 28th through the 31st verse, and we see what the Mashiach had to say concerning the same subject. All right. One of the Torah teachers came up and heard him engage in this discussion.
Seeing that Yeshua answered him well, he asked him, which is the most important mitzvah of all? And Yeshua answered, the most important is Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one, and you are to love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your understanding, and with all your strength. The second is this: you are to love your neighbor as yourself. There is no other mitzvah greater than these.
All right, you may turn around. And they, y'all got it. Then getting our first congregational song, which is With All of My Heart. We need the paper, the ushers will give it to y'all. Alright, so first we know that God has a name, and to find his name, we go to the book of Psalms 68:4, where he gives us his name. It says, sing to God, sing praises to his name, extol him who rides on the clouds, by his name Yah, and be glad in his presence. And the 8th verse says, the earth quaked, the rain poured from the sky, at the presence of Yah, even Sinai shook at the presence of Yah, the God of Israel. So we know that we are Yah's witnesses. So we go to the book of Isaiah 43, 10 through 12. It says, you are my witnesses, says Adonai, and my servants whom I have chosen, so that you may know and trust me, and understand that I am he. No God was produced before me, nor will any be after me. Yes, I am Adonai, besides me there is no deliverer. I have declared, saved, and proclaimed, not some alien God among you. Therefore you are my witnesses, says Adonai. I am God. Now we go to Isaiah 44, 6 through 8. It says, thus says Adonai, Israel's king and redeemer, Adonai Zebaoth, I am the first, and I am the last. Besides me, there is no God. Who is like me? Let him speak out. Let him show me clearly what has been happening since I set up the eternal people. Let him tell future times and events. Don't be frightened. Don't be afraid. Didn't I tell you this long ago? I foretold it, and you are my witnesses. Israel, is there any God besides our God?
No, I know not any.
Israel, is there any God besides our God?
No, I know not any.
It says there is no other rock. I
Know
know
of none.
All right, now we go to the New Testament, to the book of John, 5:30. I can't do a thing on my own. As I hear, I judge, and my judgment is right, because I don't seek my own desire, but the desire of the one who sent me. Now we go to the book of John, chapter 14, verse 28. It says, you heard me tell you, I am leaving, and I will come back to you. If you love me, you would have been glad that I am going to the Father, because the Father is greater than I. Now we go to the book of John, chapter 6, verses 38 through 40. It says, for I have come down from heaven to do not my own will, but the will of the one who sent me. And this is the will of the one who sent me, that I should not lose any of all those he has given me, but should raise them up on the last day. Yes, this is the will of my Father, that all who see the Son and trust in him should have eternal life, and that I should raise them up on the last day. Now we go to the book of John 11, 21 through 27. We go into these scriptures to prove that Yeshua is not the Father. He was sent by Yah.
Amen.
Amen.
John 11, 21 through 27. It says, Martha said to Yeshua, Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. Even now, I know that whatever you ask of Yah, Yah will give you. Yeshua said to her, your brother will rise again. Martha said, I know that he will rise again at the resurrection on the last day. Yeshua said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever puts his trust in me will live even if he dies, and everyone living and trusting in me will never die. Do you believe this? She said to him, yes, Lord, I believe that you are the Messiah, the Son of God, and one coming into the world. All right. Now I turn it back over to LB Moore for our Israel update.
Amen.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Now never mind. We're gonna have our second song, which is Be Bold, Be Strong.
Shabbat Shalom. Good to see each and everyone that's up. It's just a little hot. Okay. you know, I can't never go by what all people say, you know, still looking pretty nice out there. So let's go head on and on, trusting that y'all will work things out. It's a miracle. It's supposed to have a bad storm and everything here. People are pretty good. But it's the same thing with also, I was watching the world and all. Mashiach tells us to watch and pray always, that we might be worthy to escape these things that are coming upon the earth. Let me tell you something. No place now is being spared. You know, first of all, we was crying about they was out in California. They was crying about the fires, and they was saying, "Lord, help us! You know, send us the rain." So guess what? They got the rain, and now they hollering. Put out the rain, put out the fires, now and everything there, and now they're having mudslides and ashes and stuff. You cannot win going against God. See?
At least he did live at the foundation to rebuild. Now the foundation's lying down there.
So we.
Yeah. Had to turn this down a little bit. I heard it ringing in it to me. And I think that kind of got it. I figured we might as well do some adjustment because I was sitting there and I had it going all up. All right. You know, you might think you know everything, and we have a president now. He says he know all the stuff. He know what's going on. He know better than the generals. He know better than everybody and everything now. But let me tell you something. He got made a fool by Russia.
Yes, he had.
Earlier in the year, he was when the Syria used some chemical warfare on his own people. He said that he ain't gonna be like Obama. He says Obama put out a red line and backed off everything. He said he was gonna do something about it. So he did something about it, all right. You know, what he did was he went and bombed the airport that they say that the airplanes took off on. But guess what he did? See? He told, because he believed Russia. And Russia said, we ain't got nothing to do with it. As a matter of fact, Russia and Syria blamed the rebels on it. Said the rebels the one that staged that and that they really didn't do that. But then still, so he, big buddies of Russia, he went and told Putin, called Putin up and told him exactly where he's going to hit, what time he's going to hit, and where he's going to hit at.
Wow, such a fool.
And because he believed Russia, when Russia said, I ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm told I know nothing about it. We ain't got nothing to do with that there. And so he said, well, I believe Syria did it because I don't believe that the rebels did that. It don't make no sense for the rebels to use gas on their own self. So he said he believed that. So he went there, so he told Russia, I'm going to go over there, we're going to bomb this airport and things. So get all your planes and get all this stuff out the way here so we don't want to destroy none of your stuff. We just want to get Syrian stuff. Do you think that Russia didn't tell Syria that too? They told Syria that. Syria left all the old planes that they couldn't get no what to call to do. They left it on them and took all the other planes and moved them away too and everything there. So the United States went over there, bombed it, tore up some airplanes, and boy, he come back raging and getting all the glory. I did this and I ain't like Obama. I keep my word and everything there. Guess what they found out after they did some speculation? They found out that Russia and Syria was all in this, the whole thing together.
Wow.
They played him like a fiddle.
Oh, yeah.
They call him our Trump.
And boy, he's upset now.
Well,
He's upset now because he found out that they played in Russia and Syria had to do it, and they used the cover up. And they even brought up the scheme to try to act like it's just to show you how we in this world today, and because of the point that if we don't have God on our side and those things there, we're gonna be made look like a fool.
Well, see, you should have known that the first time we bombed. Because they went and took, after that, they took their planes and put them in with Russia's planes.
Yeah, well, they had them over there all the time. They snowballed him on that. They had already done that.
Right.
When he called Russia and told Russia we're gonna bomb it, what time and everything there. So get your planes all that. So while when they thought it was Russian plane, but Russia was moving their planes and all the planes. And left it over there and everything there. So boy, yeah.
Rex Tillerson put out something on it. You gonna bring that up?
Well, right. Well, that's one of the reasons why Rex Tillerson got upset with him.
Rex Tillerson said they were bringing briefings and bringing all the things, but he never read his briefs.
Yes.
He don't never read everything, but he already know what's going on. He don't never read this. And somebody said Obama read all his briefs,
Everything.
know everything, what's going on, what his general said. This man said that Rex Tillerson is dumb as a rock.
Obama,
But he's dumb as a rock.
Obama know how to read. He probably don't.
Probably know how to read. He just he said he goes by instinct.
Well, let me tell you something. That's the whole issue. He is a businessman. See? And in business world, you don't have to do all that stuff.
No.
See? And
He said you
but
don't
the government don't work that way.
No, you don't.
And this is the problem that we're having now. We got grown folks trying to run government and doing those things there. But therefore, this is all part of God's plan.
Amen. Amen.
I want you to know that He's bringing. Not only is the United States in trouble a lot, but we got other nations, Paris, France, and all these other things. Even Russia itself is in trouble. All these nations are in trouble now because God is bringing an end to these nations.
Hallelujah.
When He said the end of the world is coming,
Yeah.
that's exactly what He means.
Amen.
This system of things is not going to continue on as it is.
Amen.
See? He been telling everybody that he told y'all to have everybody fooled in America. That he done talked to the car dealers, the car companies. They're gonna come back and bring all this the cars back and start opening it all up. Guess what? All of them now laying off big time.
Big time.
General Motors laid off. Now Ford said announcing they're gonna have a big layoff and everything there. And boy, he upset.
He upset. He gonna tell her what to do. See, I'm gonna tell her not to do that. Or I'm gonna take her subsidies away.
See, and of course, y'all gonna still build that wall.
Yeah.
But he said that he said that Mexico was gonna build that wall. He said he's gonna shut down y'all government if you don't come up with that $5 billion for that wall.
Wow.
That's where some of the people voted for, because he said Mexico was gonna pay.
Yeah, that's why a lot of them did.
Yeah.
Mexico, how they gonna pay for it? How they gonna pay for it? They trying to get over it.
Once again, dear folks, what I'm getting at is to show you what the Bible says when they say perplexity is going to come upon the earth. Every scheme, every idea, every thought that they try to come up with, everything there as a plan to get out of this stuff here, it might work for a while, but then it all falls apart. The stock market was just blooming at first, well, just rising this one. Now it's
They don't know why.
they know why now. They don't trust nothing he say.
Okay.
At first they were believing everything he said. And all those things there. When he said those companies wasn't gonna move out and they were gonna bring it back and they was gonna open up all that, they believed all that stuff and the stock market went on that. Now it's on the fall now. They don't believe nothing he said. because they're seeing that things are not working out like what you think it is. The world also is proven by the UN whose favor they're on. God said that he was going to bring all nations against Israel.
Amen.
Now, we got some dumb folks out there that don't even believe that that Israel over there is even the right Israel. Really. And they ain't all Hebrew Israelites either I'm talking about. You got some folks like, yeah, they ain't supposed to be over there. They ain't the right ones. And they ain't the right Israel there and all this and all that stuff and all that. Well, why is it that all these things are lining up? Now, if they just had just one little thing there, I could kind of see. But when you start seeing all these things lining up, what the scripture says, you better start paying attention to what's going on. That's my advice to you. It says, look what the Hamas is doing over there in Israel, in the land. Just if you were just a prospector there and just see what's taking the land and what's going on there, just this year, sending those balloons over there, lighting those fires, and sending all that smoke over the Israel on there, you would think that somebody say, gotta be something wrong with them. But do you know they put it to a vote in the UN? As a matter of fact, it was presented by the United States and Israel to condemn Hamas and say that they were a terrorist group. And do you know the UN says unanimously no?
No.
That shows you where they're at. See? That shows you where they're at. You can't do that kind of stuff. How would you like to have somebody sitting outside your house and, you know, your next door neighbor, and they burning
Fire.
they burning fires and sending balloons and sending kites over there over there in the yard there, and then they got fire on the end of it there and setting the grass on fire and all. What do you think about that? See? And that's what they're doing. Besides, not only that, but using human shields. They know that Israel's going to come and bomb and everything, so they get the young folks. It'd be bad to be a child over in the Gaza Strip, because they use you as target practice, as a shield. But we should not be surprised about those things, because the Bible says that these are the things going to take place. And actually, it's got to take place because God is doing it. Don't listen to these lies. Don't listen to these folks that don't believe this and don't believe that. Start opening your eyes up to what's really going forth and taking place. And see. There's no way those people could be lasting and be over there and withstand all the things that they're withstanding if God was not on their side. Amen. I didn't say they was all righteous folks and all those things there. As a matter of fact, the Bible tells us that. He said, I'm not doing it because the Israel was all righteous. Why do you say he's doing it?
Because his name is.
He said, I'm doing it because of my name's sake.
That's right.
For my name's sake.
Name.
And for those that was righteous, Abraham, Isaac, and Yaakov,
Amen.
that he made the promise to.
Amen.
And they were faithful.
Amen.
Therefore, we need to thank our ancestors. See? But we got to get our act together too, dear folks. We got to stop letting hatred and all these other things rule us. And we got to understand that peace and love is the factor of what God's kingdom is all about.
Amen.
And if you think that's too weak, and you don't think that that's it, and all those things there, well, you just gonna miss out. And if we can't get along with one another, how will you think you're gonna make it in the kingdom?
Amen. Hallelujah.
just don't, I can't stand the way he looks. I don't like the way she looks. I don't like the way she. That ain't gonna work there, folks. I don't wanna have nothing to do with it, man. Okay? You understand? I'm over here in this little corner, saying I'm God's people, I'm righteous and everything there. Others over the other place there, we can't get along with one another. We can't get along with one another. We can't stand one another. Ain't there something wrong with that picture? Ain't there something wrong with that picture?
Yes.
I'm here to tell you, dear folks, God is not going to have that in his kingdom. He's not going to put up with that. You mean to tell me all these folks, let me tell you something, he emptied the Garden of Eden, didn't he? Emptied it. It only had two people in it. I guess they can wonder that. Well, how in the garden going to take care of himself now? He put those two in there and he kicked them out. Now, how the God? You think God was worried about that?
He worried about the tree of life more than anything.
We worry about all these other things. We worry about all these other things that it's none of our business. And I hear people say that. If I don't do it, hey, God's program go down. If I had it, dear folks, me, you, or any of it ain't nothing but just a little drop in the bucket. Little drop in the ocean.
That's right.
Don't let the enemy trick us and think that God got to put up with our insecurities and our shortcomings and everything there. Peace and love is the way. And the world is not going that way.
Amen.
Violence and Hamas and all these things are going even worse. Getting worse. And he said that evil men will wax worse and worse.
That's right.
So as we watch what's going on in Israel, so is the way the world is going to go forward. And you can help people. You know, the last few Sabbaths I've been telling y'all about, here's a little update about Hezbollah up in Lebanon. And they've been bragging and talking all that noise, and he ain't just talking noise. Like I told you, used to be, put the chip on your shoulder and tell somebody when you're ready to fight them and they knock that chip off. I'm ready to fight now. Any of y'all remember that back in them days?
Yeah.
Back in our days. Maybe they didn't do it in y'all days. You know, yeah. Supposed to get ready to do some fighting, they're going to put a chip on the shoulder. You ready to knock that chip off. I think one of the brothers said, hey, he tried to knock it off right. He tried to
I knocked him in here.
like you had to chip off. Right.
When I was in grade school, they did it to where they act like they want to fight, and they'll just be shoulder to shoulder walking around in circles around the circle. do something, and just walking around in circles.
Okay, I didn't see that. That was an offset from what we used to do. We'd actually put the thing on there. All right, knock that off. Yeah, you knock that off, boy. It's on then, you know. Yeah, folks, we done got past that now. We done got past that now. We got all kind of stuff going on. You know? And it seems like we're not even getting any more wiser. Our young girls are just, ain't learning nothing. They said a guy killed that 13-year-old girl, and they're looking for him. And picked up on internet and all those things there, and I looking for some guy that killed a 13-year-old girl. I guess he thought she was gone. And it's just dangerous now everywhere you go. You know, all these nations are just having all kind of violence that are happening. See? And so we better watch and pray always that we might be worthy to escape these things. Lebanon was bragging, and the reason why they was bragging, I thought, was because they had these upgraded missiles which they do have. But no, they had been digging tunnels.
Yeah.
They had been digging tunnels. That's why they were talking that noise, saying that, and like they was itching on Israel. If Israel attack us, we want Israel to attack us. And boy, we gonna put a hurt on them. What they did was that they had these tunnels that was already tunneled and was already in Israel. And they thought it was secret. And so Israel bust their bubble the other day, but Israel announced that, oh yeah, we know about your tunnels, and we fit to go ready to destroy them. And they didn't think that Israel knew about their tunnels. So this weekend, Israel went up there and started destroying one of the tunnels and everything there. But they come out, and 3 of them come out and wanted to kind of defend it. Israel gave them a warning shot. Said, we ain't playing. And they took off running and everything. So Israel said they're going to destroy all the tunnels. So now they back kind of ain't talking that noise again. But you give people all the money in the world. That's what I'm talking about, hatred. And just like Hamas, they give Hamas all that money, and instead of them fixing up their neighborhoods, fixing up their resort, they could make a lot of money because they're right on the Mediterranean there, and they could have a nice resort there for people coming in and but instead they're building tunnels and doing those things there and burning up their tires and all those things there for terrorism. When you get hatred in your heart, you can't see straight. See? And that's the problem. Blessed are you that live by peace and love. All right. This is what I want to bring to you today here. Let us continue to watch Israel. As I keep telling you, so goes Jerusalem, so goes the world. God said, I'm going to bring all nations against Jerusalem. All right. We're going to now turn it back into the hands of our pastor for today. All right. Caleb, in Israel.
Now we have a song by the Brothers of Harmony. You're here.
Hey, I want y'all to be quiet during this, please, and then do your stuff afterwards. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Bernie.
Oh, yeah.
Take your time.
Oh, I like this. Well, I like this. Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, well.
heartache. I had my share of heartache, but I'm still here. Trouble, I seen my share of trouble, but I'm still here. Bruises, I've taken my lumps and bruises, but I'm still here. Loneliness, I had my share of loneliness, but I'm still here. Oh, I made it through another day's journey. God help me. Yeah. I made it through another day's journey. God kept us here. I know it's hard to relate to what I'm about to say now. Listen. Lied on. Many times I've been lied on. Well. But I'm still here for sure. Yes, I am. Thank you, y'all. Burden, I had to bear so many burdens, but I'm still here. Ooh, dark days, had my dark days, but I'm still here. Yes, I am. Disappointment, I had so many disappointments, but I'm still here. Yeah. Through it all, I made it through another day's journey. God kept us here. I don't know how you feel about me today, but I thank God I'm still here. I made it through another day's journey. God kept us here. Let me tell you what it was, y'all. Listen. By the grace of God that I'm still here today. God was always there, no matter what came my way. Standing right there, just to see about me. I made it through another day's journey. One more day, God kept me. Yeah, I made it through another day's journey. God kept us here. Yeah, listen. I made it. Yes, I made it. I'm still here. We made it. A lot of times I can sleep late at night. We made it. Yes, we made it. I'm still here. Yes, we made it. Yes, we made it. Oh, yes, we made it. We still here. Oh, yeah. Yes, we made it. Yes, we made it. Yes, we made it. I'm still here. Oh, we still here. We still made it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, baby.
Okay, we got
Good job, man.
Oh, y'all know that.
We got company.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm
We
sitting
just
back
getting
now.
started. Oh, yeah.
Drop the key now.
How did I make it all these years? How did I make it this far? Through the bad news and over the years. I know it had to be how did I make it through the storm? How did I make it through the rain? If you wanna know just how we got here, it's so easy for me to explain. It was God's grace, God's grace. 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 Oh, I made it this far. We made it this far. Yes, I did. By the grace of God. God's grace. It was God's grace. God's grace, God's grace, God's grace, amazing grace, God's grace. Oh, I made it this far. We made it this far. Oh, it's like by the grace of God. God, thank you for how you brought me through. How you brought me through the night. Lord, you kept me and you never left me. You stood by my side. There were so many times that I came so close. Oh, men that tried to take me in. So the reason I'm here, not hard for me to see. In fact, it's so easy for me. It was God's grace, God's grace. 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 Oh, I made it this far. We made it this far. Oh, yes, I did. By the grace of God. I remember the times when I strayed away. Even though I knew his word, still I wouldn't obey. But God's mercy and grace saved me. It brought me. It was God's grace, God's grace, God's grace. It was God's grace, God's grace. It was God's grace, God's grace. Oh, I made it this far, made it this far. Yes, I did. By the grace of God. I want to know God's grace, just how I got you. God's grace. Anybody want to know God's grace? I'm still standing. God's grace. Oh, I made it this far. Made it this far. Oh, it's a by the grace of God. Some people say God's grace. They said I wouldn't make it. God's grace. Some people said God's grace. I wouldn't be here today. God's grace. Oh, I made it this far. We made it this far. Oh, by the grace of God. God's grace. God's grace. Okay, we say the last for the
Yeah,
best for last, brother.
Come on, brother. Let's go, brother. Come on. Come on. Take your time.
Could have been me. In a wheelchair with no feet. Could have been me. Trying to get across the street. Yeah, yeah. Could have been me. Living in the street, y'all. Could have been me. Well, well. Cause it could have been me. Oh, I thank God. Oh, I thank God, yeah. Cause it could have been me. I really God. Yes, I do. Cause it could have been me. Got another verse, now listen. Could have been me. Well, locked up in jail, y'all. Could have been me. With no one to go my bail. Could have been me. I know it could have. Strung out on crack cocaine, y'all. It could as well been me. Should have in my vein. And I stopped by to let you know. Oh, thank God. Cause it could have been me. Oh, I thank God for saving me. I wish I had a witness. Oh, thank God. Could have been me. Cause it could have been me. I thank God. Every time I go down on my knees, I have to thank somebody. Got one more verse, now listen. Could have been me, yeah, yeah. All my sick days, y'all. It could have been me. When the doctor shook his head, can I get me a witness? Yeah. Could have been me. Sleeping in my grave. Y'all, step right in, y'all. And he made your death behave. I come to let you know. Cause it could have been me. Oh, I thank God for saving me. He didn't have to do it, but I'm glad about it. Oh, I thank God because it could have been me. Every time I go down on my knees, I tell somebody. Sometimes I go in the room and close the door and put my arm, and here's what I say. Y'all, I thank you right now. Have anybody ever took the time out to say, y'all, could have been me. I thank you. Thank you, Yah. Cause you've been good to me. You could have been me. You've been so good to me. Thank you, Yah. When I don't have no money in my pocket, I don't let it bother me because God said he'll work it out for me, and I know he will. Have anybody been lonely tonight? He'll be a company in a lonely hour. And lonely tonight. God, thank you right now for saving me.
One more song, we got to get some harmonies, see if we don't need.
I knew it. I got it for you. Get it, girl. Go ahead. I do that. Go on.
One, two, three. Test.
Oh, I'm gonna need that alone.
Test, test.
Am I in anybody's way? Let me know. Wait a minute. You got lean on me? You got lean on me? I'm gonna choke you so. Where the tape? Where the tape is? I didn't never could find it. Just the instrument. Okay, they gonna take their time.
Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride if I have things you need to borrow, for no one can fill those of your needs that you won't let show. You just call on me, brother, you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on.
I just might have a problem that you understand.
We all need somebody to lean on.
You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand.
We all need somebody to lean on. If there is a load you have to bear that you can't carry on, right up the road, and I'll share your love. If you just call me, call me.
If you need a friend,
Call me,
call me,
call me,
call me,
call me,
send
call me,
when you need a friend.
call me,
David,
call me,
if you need a friend,
call me,
call me,
call me,
call me,
call me,
if you need a friend,
call me,
call me.
No, I don't want you to do anything. I want you to cry. No, I want you to see him. Right, I want you to deal with that people. You just ask that I did. I didn't do We all need. Oh, yes.
All right, now we ask everybody to bow our heads, quiet tonight, we're off the. Ask you to bow our heads, quiet tonight, Baraka. Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who has given us the Torah, the writings, the prophets, and the Brit Hadashah by thy great spirit, and has commanded us to diligently teach them to our children, to our people, and all people of the earth. And let all Israel say,
Amen.
Our Torah reading for this week's parashah will be taken from the book of Genesis 41, 1 through 44, 17. That's Genesis 41, 1 through 44, 17. I'll take it from the book of 1 Kings 3, 15 through 4, chapter and the first verse. That's 1 Kings 3, 15 through 4 and 1. Our scripture reading will be given by our Shamash. Let us give him our undivided attention as he reads the word of Yahweh.
All right. Yeah.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Scripture reading is 1 Kings 3:15 through 28. 3:15, chapter 3, verses 10 through 28. Shlomo awoke and found it had been a dream. But he went to Jerusalem, stood before the ark for the covenant of Adonai, and offered up burnt offerings and peace offerings. He also made a feast for all his servants. After this, there came to the king 2 women who were prostitutes. After presenting themselves to him, one of the women said, "My lord, I and this woman live in the same house, and when she was in the house, I gave birth to a baby. 3 days after I gave birth, this woman also gave birth. We were there together. There was no one else with us in the house except the 2 of us. During the night, this woman's child died because she rolled over on top of it. So she got up in the middle of the night and took my son from next to me, while your servant was sleeping, and put in her arms. And she laid her dead child in my arms. When I awoke in the morning to feed my child from my breast, it wasn't my son at all. not the one I gave birth to. The other woman broke in, no, the living one is my son, and the dead one is your son. The first one said, no, the dead one is your son, and the living one is my son. This is how they spoke in the presence of the king. Then the king said, this one says, the living one is my son. Your son is a dead one, while the other says, no, the dead one is your son, and the living one is my son. Bring me a sword, said the king. They brought a sword to the king. The king said, cut the living child in two. Give half to one and half to the other. At this, the woman to whom the living child belonged addressed the king because she felt so strongly toward her son. Oh my lord, give her the living child. You mustn't kill it. But the other one said, it will be neither yours nor mine. Divide it up. Then the king answered, give the living child to the first woman. Don't kill it because she is its mother. All Israel heard of this decision the king had made and held the king in awe. For they saw that God's wisdom was in him, enabling him to render justice properly. May y'all add this blessing bring to the reading of the word.
Alright, so now we go to Genesis 39 and start reading at verse 21. No, starting at verse 20. That's Genesis 39, verse 20. Genesis 39, 20. Yeah, that's Genesis 39, 20 through 23. 23.
Talk to the mic.
Genesis 30.
Joseph's master took him and put him in prison, in the plain where the king's prisoners were kept. And there he was in the prison. But Adonai was with Joseph, showing him grace and giving him favor in the sight of the prison warden. The prison warden made Joseph supervisor of all the prisoners in the prison, so that whatever they did there, he was in charge of it. The prison warden paid no attention to anything Joseph did, because Adonai was with him, and whatever he did, Adonai prospered.
So Joseph was in prison because he got framed. So, but Yah was with Joseph, even though he was in prison, Yah was still with him. So now we go to Genesis 41 and start reading at the first verse.
At the end of 2 years, Pharaoh had a dream. He was standing beside the Nile River, and there came up out of the water 7 cows, sleek and fat, and they began feeding in swamp grass after them. There came up out of the river 7 more cows. Then the miserable-looking and lean cows ate up the 7 sleek, fat cows. At this point, Pharaoh woke up, but he went to sleep, dreamt a second time. 7 full, ripe ears of grain grew out of a single, sprang up, and the thin ears swallowed up the seven full ripe ears. Then Pharaoh woke up and realized it has been a dream. In the morning, he found himself so upset that he summoned all the magicians of Egypt and all the wise men. Pharaoh took them his dreams, but no one could. Pharaoh told them his dreams, but no one there could interpret them for him.
All right, so right here we see Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, is frustrated. He has had 2 dreams, and one in which he sees 7 fat cows swallowed by 7 skinny cows, the one in which 7 fat ears of grain are swallowed by 7 lean ears of grain. And he wants to understand what they mean. So he calls all his magicians and interpreters, but no one can interpret it. So keep on reading.
Then the chief cupbearer said to Pharaoh, "Today reminds me of something wherein I am at fault." Pharaoh was angry with his officials and put me in the prison of the house of the captain of the guard. Me and the chief baker put me in the prison, me and the chief baker one night, both and he had dreams, and each man's dreams had its own meaning. There was with us a young man, a Hebrew, a servant of the captain of the guard, and we told him our dreams, and he interpreted them for us. He interpreted each man's dream individually, and it came about he interpreted to us. I was restored to my office, and he was hanged. Then Pharaoh
Just read the 14th.
Then Pharaoh summoned Joseph, and they brought him quickly out of the dungeon. He shaved himself, changed his clothes, and came into Pharaoh.
So the chief butler speaks up and tells Pharaoh about a Hebrew, and the Hebrew he's talking about is Joseph. And Joseph interpreted his dream exactly right. So now Pharaoh is about to call for Joseph so that Joseph can interpret his dream. So keep reading.
Pharaoh said to Joseph, "I had a dream, and there is no one who can interpret it. But I've heard it said about you that when you hear a dream, you can interpret it." Joseph answered Pharaoh, "It isn't in me. God will give Pharaoh an answer that will set his mind at peace." Pharaoh said to Joseph, "In my dream, I stood at the edge of the river, and there came up out of the river 7 cows, fat and sleek, and they began feeding in the swamp grass. After them, there came up out of the river 7 more cows, poor and lean. I have never seen such bad-looking cows in all of the land of Egypt." Then
Alright, well, we can stop right there. I'll just tell you. So Joseph hears the dream and then he explains what they mean to Pharaoh. He tells him that there will be 7 years of plenty in the land, and there will be a lot of food for everybody to eat. This will be followed by 70 years of hunger, and no food will grow. So Joseph advises Pharaoh to hire somebody in charge of storing food for the first 7 years so that there will be food to eat during the years of hunger. So Pharaoh is impressed by Joseph's interpretation and his advice, so he appoints him to be the Egypt in charge of the food in the whole country. So Joseph then marries Asenath, and they have 2 sons, Ephraim and Manasseh. Now start reading at Genesis 42.
now Yaakov saw that there was grain in Egypt. So Yaakov said to his sons, "Why are you staring at each other? I can buy some for us from there, so that we can stay alive and not die." Thus Joseph, 10 brothers went down to buy grain from Egypt, except for Benjamin, Joseph's brother. Yaakov did not send him with his brothers because he was afraid something might happen to him. The sons of Israel came to buy along with the others that came, since the famine extended to the land of Canaan. Joseph was governor over the land. It was he who sold to all the people of the land. Now when Joseph's brother came and prostrated themselves before him on the ground, Joseph saw his brothers and recognized them, but he acted toward them as if he were a stranger, and spoke harshly with them. He asked them, "Where are you from?" They answered, "From the land of Canaan to buy food." So Joseph recognized his brothers, but they didn't recognize him.
Alright, so Jacob sends his sons to Egypt so that they can buy food, because because Ammon had reached the land. So he keeps his son Benjamin at home because Joseph was already taken, but he doesn't know Joseph is going over to Egypt. So he keeps Benjamin at home because he doesn't want Benjamin to get taken too. So 10 of Joseph's brothers, they arrive in Egypt and they go to Joseph so that they can buy some grain. But Joseph recognizes them, but they don't recognize him. So keep up.
Remembering the dreams he had about them, Joseph said to them, You are spies. You come to spot our country's weakness. No, my lord, they replied. Your servants have come to buy food. We're all the sons of one man, we're upright men. Your servants aren't spies. No, he said to them. You come to spy out on our country's weakness. They said, We, your servants, and our 12 brothers, the sons of one man in the land of Canaan. The youngest stayed with our father, and another one is gone. Just as I said, replied Joseph, your spies. Here's how you can prove you're not lying. As Pharaoh lives, you will not leave here unless your youngest brother comes here. Send one of you and let him bring your brother. Meanwhile, you will be kept in custody.
All right, so Joseph is keeping one of them in custody while he's sending the rest of them to go back and get Benjamin so that he can see Benjamin and prove that they're not lying. Even though he knows they're not lying, he just wants to see Benjamin. All right, keep
Then this will prove whether there is any truth in what you say. Otherwise, as Pharaoh lies, you are certainly spies. Then he put all of them together in prison for 3 days. On the third day, Joseph said to them, Do what I say and stay alive, for I fear God. If you are upright men, let one of your brothers remain incarcerated in the prison you're being kept in, while you go and carry grain back to relieve the famine in your homes. But bring your youngest brother to me. In this way, your statements will be verified. So they did it. They said to each other, We are in fact guilty concerning our brother. He was in distress and pleaded with us. We saw it and wouldn't listen. That's why the distress has come upon us now.
all right, so they don't have finally recognized why they're going through all this stuff. It was because of what they did to Joseph. So they found out that they was going through all this hard stuff because they did that to their brother Joseph. They sold them into slavery and stuff. So they finally come in and realize why they was going through all this hard stuff they was going through. All right.
Reuben answered them, Didn't I tell you, don't wrong the boy? But you wouldn't hear of it. Now comes the reckoning for his blood. They had no idea that Joseph understood them, since an interpreter was translating for them. Joseph turned away from them and wept. Then he returned and spoke to them. He took Simeon from among them and put him in prison before their eyes.
All right, so he took Simeon while the rest of them has to go back to Canaan and get Benjamin. So starting at verse 29.
They answered to Yaakov, their father in the land of Canaan, and told him all that had happened to them. The man, the Lord of the land, spoke harshly with us. He took us for spies in this country. We said to him, We are upright men. We're not spies. We are 12 brothers, sons of our father. One is gone, and the youngest stayed with our father in the land of Canaan. But the man, the Lord of the land, said to us, Here's how I will know that you are upright men. Leave one of your brothers with me. Take grain to relieve the famine in your homes, and go on your way. But bring your youngest brother to me. By this I will know that you aren't spies, but are upright men. Then I will return your brother to you, and you will do business in the land.
read verse 36.
Yaakov, their father, said to them, "You have robbed me of my children. Joseph is gone. Simeon is gone. Now you're taking Benjamin away. It all falls on me."
Alright, so Jacob is mad because now Joseph needs Benjamin. He wants to see Benjamin, so they're trying to take Joseph. Is getting mad. I mean, not Joseph. Jacob is getting mad because he's like, y'all already took Joseph away from me. Now y'all trying to get rid of Simeon. Now y'all trying to get rid of Benjamin. Alright, so keep reading.
Reuben said to his father, "If I don't bring him back to you, you can kill my own 2 sons. Put him in my care. I will return him to you."
Alright, so Reuben took responsibility. He's the oldest child anyway, so he took responsibility for Benjamin. So he's like, if Benjamin can't come back, kill my 2 sons. Alright,
But he replied, "My son will not go down with you. His brother is dead, and he alone is left. If anything were to happen to him while traveling with you, you would bring my gray hair down to Shiloh with grief."
Alright, so read chapter 43, verse 1.
But the famine was severe in the land. So when they had eaten up the grain which they had brought out of Egypt, their father said to them, "Go again, buy us a little food." Yehuda said to him, "The man expressly warned us, you will not see my face unless your brother is with you. If you will send our brother with us, we will go down and buy you food. But if you will not send him, we will not go down." For the man said to us, "You will not see my face unless your brother is with you." Israel said, "Why did you bring such terrible my way by telling the man you had another brother?" Why did you bring such trouble my way by telling the man you had another brother? They answered, "The man kept questioning us about ourselves and about our kinsmen. He asked, 'Is your father still alive? Do you have another brother?' And we answered accordingly to the literal meaning of his questions. How were we to know he would say, 'Bring your brother down'?" Yehuda said to Israel, his father, "Send the boy with me, and we will make preparations and leave, so that we may stay alive and not die, both we and you, and also our little ones."
Alright, so Judah is saying to Israel's father to send the boy with him, and they're going to make preparations to be ready to leave, to go back to Egypt. Alright, keep reading.
"I myself will guarantee his safety. You can hold me responsible. If I fail to bring him to you and present him to your face, let me bear the blame forever. Except for our lengthy delay, we would have been there again by now."
Alright, so now Judah is also taking the blame after Reuben did too. So now he's asking his father to hold him responsible if anything. Alright.
Their father Israel answered them, "If that's how it is, do this. Take in containers some of the land, best products, and bring the man a gift. Some healing resin, a little honey, aromatic gum, opium, pistachio nuts, and almonds. Take twice the amount of money with you, and return the money that came back with you in your past. And oversight, yes. And take your brother too, and get ready and go again to the man."
Alright, so Jacob is finally letting them go. He's telling them to take their brother and some other stuff and get ready to go back to Egypt. Alright.
"May El Shaddai give you favor in the man's sight, so that he will release to you your other brother, as well as Benjamin. As for me, if I must lose my children, lose them I will. That's Men took that gift, and they took twice the money with them. And Benjamin, then they prepared, went down to Egypt and stood before Joseph. When Joseph saw Benjamin with them, he said to his household manager, "Take the men inside the house, kill the animals, and prepare the meat. These men will dine with me at noon."
Alright, so now Joseph is getting ready, so that getting ready to eat with them. Alright.
The man did as Joseph ordered and brought the men into Joseph's house. Upon being ushered into Joseph's house, the men became fearful. They said, "It's because of the money that was returned in our packs the first time that we have been brought inside, so that he can use it as an excuse to attack us. Take us as slaves and seize our donkeys too." So they approached the manager of Joseph's household and spoke to him at the entrance of the house. "Please, my lord, the first time we and spoke to him, and he came down to buy food. But when we got to camp, we opened our packs, and there inside our packs was each man's money, the full amount. We have brought it back in with us. Moreover, we have brought down over other money to buy food. We have no idea who put our money in our packs."
Alright, starting at verse 26.
When Joseph arrived home, they went in the house and presented him with the gift they had brought with him. Then prostrated and themselves before him on the ground. He asked them how they were, and inquired, "Is your father well? The old man of whom you spoke, is he still alive?" They answered, "Your servant our father is well. Yes, he is still alive." As they bowed in respect, he looked up at his brother, his mother's son, and said, Is this your younger brother of whom you spoke to me?" And added, "May God be good to you, my son." Then Joseph hurried out because his feelings toward his brother were so strong that he wanted to cry. He went into his bedroom, and there he wept. Then he washed his face and came out, but he controlled himself as he gave the order to serve the meat. They served him by himself, the brothers by themselves, and the Egyptians included at the meal by themselves.
Alright, starting at chapter 44.
Say what chapter?
44.
Then he,
Okay. Thank you.
then he ordered the manager of his household, "Fill the men's pack with food, as much as they can carry, and put each man's money just inside his pack, and put my goblet, the silver one, just inside the pack of the youngest, all along with his grain money." He did what Joseph told him to do. At daybreak, the men were sent off with their donkeys. But before they were far from the city, Joseph said to his manager, "Up, go after the men, and when you overtake them, say to them, 'Why have you repaid good with evil? Isn't this the goblet my lord drank from? Indeed, the one he uses for divination. What you have done is evil.'" So he caught up with them and said these words to him. They replied, "Why does my lord speak this way? Heaven forbid that we should do such a thing."
Alright, so he framed Benjamin for stealing the silver goblet that he drinks out of. And now they're being suspected of stealing, so they're like, "Go ahead and search our bags because we didn't steal anything." And the goblet is found in Benjamin's bag. said, then the brothers are shocked and horrified, and Joseph says as punishment for the death, he will take Benjamin as a slave. The brothers know that they cannot return home without Benjamin. Alright. Read verse 14.
Yehuda and his brothers arrived at Joseph's house. He was still there, and they fell down before him on the ground. Joseph said to them, "How could you do such a thing? Don't you know that a man such as myself can learn the truth by divination?" Yehuda said, "There's nothing we can say to my lord. How can we speak? There's no way we can clear ourselves. God has revealed your servant's guilt. So here we are, my lord's slaves, but both we and also the one in whose position the cup was found." But he replied, "Heaven forbid that I should act in such a way. The man in whose possession the goblet was found would be my slave. But as for you, go in peace."
Got that next week. So that's the end of this piece. Turn it back over to Elder Demo for the rest of our service.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Y'all folks, they did pretty good.
Yeah.
All that.
Old folks did too.
Huh?
Old folks did too.
Well, everybody in the program did pretty good. On that end, I say this time, people on the radio in the Pewter Land, the young folks, we try to, right during this time of Hanukkah, during this time of our dedication and reestablishing ourselves, we our young folks step forward to kind of learn some understanding and some responsibilities, just as we see in the parable. The parashah for this week here is that these boys had to step up to the plate and take responsibility. See? Anything that you do and you set forth and all those things there's a responsibility that goes along with that. See? And when it went down and had to convince his father that they're going, two brothers had to step up and take responsibility. See? And that's the same way it is with each and every one of you. For your salvation, you got to take responsibility. Our children, we raised you, we did all this other, but it comes a time when you got to step forward and take responsibility for your salvation.
Amen. Amen.
See, you get skate along and daddy this and mama this here, and rely on them, force you to come to force you to do right, force you to do this thing. Sooner or later, see, you got to step on your own.
Amen.
See? And the enemy is out there, see, to trap you. Just as he was saying here, these boys had to put their everything on the line, and as the pastor brought out today, they got set up, by Joseph. He said, "Hey," and they were just so sure, and that's the way a lot of times we are. We're so sure that we don't make it, even though I keep telling you that the world is not fair and all that. But somehow we got that idea that, hey, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. It ain't gonna happen to me. Therefore, let me tell you something. It happens to us all.
Amen.
See, I'm still waiting on that day where I can do anything I want to do. I thought, hey, I get this, that, it don't come. Don't get yourself too busy. Please listen here. Do not get yourself too busy doing the things of this world and you don't have time for y'all. Your salvation is at stake. Yeah, we gotta operate in this world. And yeah, you gotta have jobs, and you got to have this, and you gotta make money and those things. But remember, this world is coming to an end. See? And if you tie yourself all up, see, and don't make no time and preparation for the world to come, you're mistreating yourself. See? Money is not gonna help us. We're finding out now that, hey, money just don't get it. You think about all the money, you know, and it just, you know, rich people and all that stuff there, they still ain't happy. And let me tell you something, it costs us not even to do anything now. So let us take responsibility. The pastors, husbands and wives and all that there can't do it for your mothers and fathers. They can't do it for you. You have to do it for yourself. You got to step up to the plate and take responsibility and make a decision on what you want.
Amen.
And if you want salvation, you want those things there, then you're going to have to put in the work for it.
Gotta be chosen in this life.
You go to a job, you got to do that job. They're not going to pay you for not doing it. Right?
Right.
Go there and say, I showed up and I saw you. No. You got to do more than show up, right?
That's right. Gotta work.
Especially some of y'all that know about that work on that, what they call it, the assembly line. Let me tell you something. They got you sit there and you get to operating. And if you ain't doing your job, what's going to happen?
Shut down the line.
You get showed up. Right?
Right.
Because, see, when that belt go down through there, and that part come down through there, you got to do a certain amount of things. You got to do this here and that, so they keep going. Ain't nobody gonna have to say, talk and say, hey, no, it's gonna show up right there. And then you gonna get mad at everybody. Hey. No, you gotta get mad at your own self.
That's right.
You can follow it, right?
No. Will they let you do that now?
No, you gotta work.
Other folks.
You're supposed to work in station.
That's where they did. Back in my days when we did it, you had a station in the area that you did it, and when that you know, it's just like I was in the wiring section now, and we were wiring up certain parts of it, and so it would come down to it, and this guy here, he would put wires on it, just certain things, you know, all that. Then he'd move on down to the next point there, and he was responsible for putting wires on this and that and the whole thing. Then he would move on down into somebody else, and they were responsible. And when they got on down to the end for the inspector, he checked to see if all the wires was on everything. And then if he looked there and saw the wires was not at a certain thing, they went back and they knew exactly who. You said right here, you supposed to wire from transistors. See? You supposed to wire up these relays. See? And so they knew exactly who it was.
Amen.
And you got called out on the carpet there, folks.
Oh, yeah.
You can't blame nobody but yourself. That's the same way our salvation is, there, folks.
That's right.
Please get that.
Amen.
You can sit up there and make excuses all you want to about it. Everyone's like, yeah. Well, they ran it too fast to me. They were moving it too quick and everything. I didn't have time. Hey, no, that. Will that make it?
Nope.
Some of y'all that work on the
Nope.
similar, will that do it?
No.
Because let me tell you something, sometimes things do look like you're going pretty fast there.
Do be going back.
So that means that we gotta put in the work.
That's right. If you want the reward.
So dear folks, let's do it for your salvation, because Yah has a way to bring all these things around to make us be responsible for our salvation, and you are.
Amen.
Okay, this is,
LB Mo.
yes.
Note up there.
Oh, yeah, all right. Hymn of harmony, huh? You have another song. It could have been me. Wait a minute, ain't another song I sang on.
It's a redo.
Oh, y'all gonna redo it again? Oh, okay then. All right then. All right. All right, hymn of harmony. Should have been me. Hey, that kind of fits in good. Because I want to let you know it is all of you.
Let me hit
Could have been me. Trying to get across the street. Well, could have been me. Living in the street, y'all. Could have been me. With no food on my table to eat, but you know what? Thank God, 'cause it could have been me. Oh, I thank God, for saving me. Oh, I thank God, yeah, 'cause it could have been me. I really do. Yes, I do. 'Cause it could have been me. Could have been me. Locked up in jail, y'all. Could have been me. With no one to go my bail. Could have been me. I know it could have. Strung out on crack cocaine, y'all. Could as well been me. Shoot heroin in my vein. And I stopped by to let you know. 'Cause it could have been me. Oh, I thank y'all for saving me. I wish I had a witness. Could have been me. Could have been me. Oh, I thank y'all. 'Cause it could have been me. Every time I go down on my knees, I have to ask somebody, could have been me. Could have been me. Yeah. Could have been me. Sleeping in my grave. Y'all stepped right in, y'all. And he made your death behave. I come to let you know. Thank God, 'cause it been me. Oh, thank God. Thank God for saving. He didn't have to do it, but I'm glad about it. Oh, thank God. 'Cause it could have been me. Every time I go down on my knees, I have to tell somebody. 'Cause it could have been me. Sometimes I go in the room and throw my arms, and that's what I say. It could have been me. God, I thank you right now. Thank you, God. If anybody ever took the time out, it could have been me. To say, God, I thank you. Thank you, God. You've been good to me. You've been so good to me. Thank you, God. When I don't have no money in my pocket, I don't really love you because y'all said He'll work it out for me, and I know He will. Have anybody been lonely tonight? Y'all said He'll be a company keeper in a lonely hour. Have anybody been lonely tonight? God, you've been good to us. It could have been me.
Okay, can y'all give me still, brother, still here?
We ready to still eat.
I want to say while we getting ready, y'all can come on because the food is ready now. Food blessing.
All right, we're going to get this wrapped up. Yes, yeah. I'll close that. What's calling?
Don't get the wine, you got wine.
We trust that those who are doing this, we trust that those who are out in the computer land have followed through on us and that you'll finish up this week, Hanukkah, we ask that your Rosh Chodesh, which will be coming up here shortly too, and that and as our old fields, how should we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? If I forgive the Jerusalem, let my right hand hear a claim. But I remember thee, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth. If I prefer not Jerusalem, above my chief joy. Psalm 137, verses 5 and 6. Shalom, shalom from now, and make each and every one of you rededicate yourselves during this time of dedication to make a complete stand for Yah. Shalom, shalom. And if it's God's will, we will see you next week on our regular show. All right.